wants you. We can bring it on the floor. Never danced like this before. We don't talk about it.
Hey guys, what's cracking? It's Krakenation, coach of the Boston Bisharps, and today we are back with another episode of the CSL Team Builders. Today we're going to be looking at our team against Magcargo Tel-Aviv, coached by Alpha Horres. This is a team that we have a lot of bad blood against, as far as they ended our season 4. First of all, have always been a tough opponent to take on, but they ended our season 4 playoffs run, which was very difficult to tolerate. So, without further ado, we're definitely going to have to get into a really solid team. I knew I had a lot on my plate. He's a pretty intimidating team, no doubt, and he's a very skilled player, so, you got to prep for anything. So I definitely am bringing my A game this week. Quick recap, we're currently 2-0, having beaten Manatee City last week, so we are in a good spot, but we want to stay on this road. So we're going to get right into it. First up, we got War Total. I'm excited to be bringing Donatello to this battle. Donatello is going to be bomb, guys. Rapid Spin allows Donatello to be my hazard clear, along with Toxic, being pretty useful to just spam against most team members. I do have some pretty defensive Pokemon that can take hits, so it is going to be pretty useful to just be able to click that at a moment's notice. Torrent is just because why not? I don't really have a reason to not run Torrent. It gets me a stronger Surf, I guess. Specifically, Haze plus these Speedy Vs. Haze allows me to obviously clear away status. However, Haze at this Speedy V allows me to what am I trying to get at here? It allows me to clear the belly drum boost from a adamant Azumarill, so I can I can take an Aqua Jet obviously, but I can't take a Play Rough. However, this allows me to outspeed. The Spadef investment is to give us another potential answer to Mega Houndoom, who's obviously very, very scary if it sets up. So I wanted to have a reliable way to beat that. However, I am considering running defensive. I'm not sure yet. I do have some of these to do defense, obviously. But mainly this is to take on both. This set can basically take on Houndoom not running like solar power, like and then whatever the sun power like ability that it gets is. Solar Beam, Solar Power, that's what it is, yeah. Solar Beam, Solar Power. Obviously, it can take on any variant that isn't that pretty effectively, and the Haze is really cool because it allows us to efficiently just reduce the Azumarill to nothing if it's a Belly Drum variant, and it really helps us just kind of keep some pressure on this team. Beyond that, War Turtle, that's pretty much the extent of War Turtle's goal in this game. It's not really a whole lot that it does. If we look at the CSML Season 5 interface, oh my god, what am I looking up? These are just videos, but, this might take a while to load, guys. Not sure. I want to take a look at this team real quick. Anyways, we're going to move on until then, because this is, it's moving. Look at all these little websites that we got going here. Alright, so here we are. If we look at the Diamond Division, his team consists of Houndoom, Ferrothorn, Azumarill, Zapdos, Reuniclus, Dredigan, Kofagrigus, Quagsire, Hariyama, Zangoose, Nidorino, and Donphan. So this thing is actually able to take on a lot of this team pretty effectively. Donphan, Nidorino, not really Zangoose. Zangoose is just power, but non-guts boosted Hariyama. Dredigan's pretty effectively taken on. As well as Azumarill, Houndoom, even Kofagrigus, and Quagsire. It's able to really effectively take down a lot of different variants of these Pokemon, so I'm really amped to see what it's going to end up being capable of. I'm just amped to bring War Turtle to this battle. Honestly, I'm really glad that I'm finding some good use for my Pew Pokemon, as well as he does have a lot of potential Stealth Rockers and specifically potential Spike Stacker. I don't think he's going to bring Spike Stacking against my team because I do have a lot of Pokemon that can potentially run Hazard Clearing, but I do want to make sure I do have that Hazard Clear anyways. Next up, we got Snorlax with Power Up Punch, Crunch, Seed Bomb, and Return. Crunch is essentially just to not make Kofagrigus switching for free all the time. Assault Vest obviously lets us sponge up hits. Specifically, this is our best answer to Houndoom. This thing eats hits from Houndoom so effectively. I was considering running Superpower, however, Power Up Punch is going to be the way to go, as it lets us kind of just get this boost. Superpower pretty much forces us to switch out the next turn, which kind of sucks, whereas Power Up Punch can make things that might have otherwise been switch-ins no longer safe switch-ins. Thick Fat obviously giving us that resistance to fire type attacks. Seed Seed Bomb allows us to hit Quagsire. So if he sees us power punching up really intensely, we can just Seed Bomb the Quagsire and not really worry too much about it. And Return just again achieves really great coverage all around. I really bring Assault Vest Snorlax too much, so I'm probably going to start trying to look into potential other variants. I haven't brought Curslax in a while, however, I really am wary about bringing a Curslax set against a team that has a lot of Pokemon that can potentially just bust through Curslax. Specifically, Hariyama, obviously, Zangoose can come in when Curslax is still weak. I have to run Dark-type to beat Covagrigus, so teams with Ghost type that also have strong fighting types, and just strong physical attackers in general, such as these three, really threatened Curslax. So obviously, it's not the best time to bring it to this particular battle. I don't see a way to make it work that effectively. Next up, we got Togetic with a Violite, Heal Bell, Roost Toxic, Seismic Toss. Toxic, again, just being a pretty great move for just coverage. Heal Bell allows us to, just kind of recover off status, because there are a lot of Pokemon that are potentially running status in this team, specifically Ferrothorn, Zapdos, even a defensive Reuniclus or Druddigon. Quagsire could also be, Cofagrigus could also be, even Donphan can run Toxic at times. So definitely a lot of Pokemon here potentially running status, so I really wanted to bring a Heal Bell user. Roost allows us to obviously just sponge up hits. We are defensive, physically defensive, specifically to take on things like Hariyama, who threaten our other two Pokemon pretty effectively. If Guts Hariyama could have threatened those a lot. And so between Toxic and Seismic Toss, we're basically able to hit everything on this team. Reuniclus obviously ends up being a problem with Magic Guard, and Ferrothorn again also can heal up. But we are able to take and eventually take down most of this team. And finally we have, Seismic Toss just allows us to not be complete fodder, breaks most Pokemon substitutes that aren't over 100 HP. So anything except Reuniclus, I think, on this team, and Hariyama, I think they all have 100 HP or lower. I think Azumarill actually hits exactly 100, so... although, no, you have to reach 404 HP. That's the number you have to reach. So next up, we got V for Vendetta. This is the Choice Banded Victini with V-Create, Energy Ball, and U-Turn. This is actually the first time, it's week 3, and I have yet to bring a V-Creating Victini. So V-Create, Trick, Energy Ball, U-Turn. This is kind of a cool set. I'm pretty amped about it. Essentially, the current special attack EVs give me a 75% chance to OHKO Quagsire, which is pretty awesome. Combined with the fact that V-Create, Trick, Energy Ball, U-Turn. So, Trick is pretty nice because there's not really a move that I need beyond just V-Create against this team. Obviously, it would have been nice to be able to hit the Houndoom and Druddigon, I guess, but V-Create hits like everything on this team super hard, and I really can switch out of the things that it doesn't hit pretty effectively. Two things that I like to switch into this move are going to be Donphan and Quagsire, which Energy Ball just can proceed to bop. And also is my main way of taking down Ferrothorn, although I do have several other moves mixed in on the rest of the team, on these three, to take down Ferrothorn. Trick is really useful because it's going to allow us to kind of stop Reuniclus and Ferrothorn, and even potentially Cofagrigus or Quag in their tracks. Reuniclus is honestly the biggest reason, though. Reuniclus could definitely set up and 6-0 my team if I am not smart about it. So I have Haze to potentially weaken it, and then assuming it has to run Focus Blast and Psyshock to bust up through my team. However, it also really wants to run Recover almost always. Like, Reuniclus really feels like it needs to run Recover. So unless it's the Trick Rooming variant, where it can outspeed, Reuniclus really wants to run Recover. And then again, if it's running Psyshock and Focus Blast, it's not running anything to hit Victini super hard. I can trick it my choice item, or if it's weak enough, I can just go for the kill with V-Create. So it's going to be depending on if it's at 100 or at like 70. If it's at 70, V-Create kills even defensive Victini. We are 216. I can show you guys that calc real quick. We are also jolly. So it's actually a pretty low attack stat, but it's kind of relying on just the band plus Victini's raw power. But as you can see, if it's below like 70, the create is a pretty safe kill. And there's a good chance that Reuniclus does take a lot of whittling damage because it is so slow. So pretty confident. And U-turn, obviously, just if I'm expecting a switch, V-Create, and V-Create could leave me in a bad spot. U-turning is always a good play. There's not really many times where switching out can't in some way benefit you. So if I'm about to click V-Create, but I'm expecting something like Druddigon to switch in, who I can't really touch, or potentially even like a Zapdos that a physically defensive Zapdos might be a problem, a speedy defensive, I don't know, or like Houndoom. Houndoom definitely I can't touch, so I have to click U-turn. Does a decent amount of damage, but then I can switch into something like one of my Pokemon that can answer it better. Victini's kind of going to be an offensive star of the show, I'm expecting. To go with our banded wall breaker, we're bringing a spec wall breaker. This is just a really standard OU or UU or whatever adaptability Dragalad. So Draco Meteor, Focus Blast, Sludge Bomb, Dragon Pulse. Focus Blast was originally Hidden Power Fire, and it does have the disadvantage of both the mischance and not being able to hit Kofa Grigas. However, I feel like he's going to kind of expect Hidden Power Fire anyways, so Kofa Grigas probably wouldn't be a switch-in into Gouge. And beyond just that fact, Draco Meteor, Focus Blast, Sludge Bomb, Dragon Pulse achieves really great coverage, and Focus Blast honestly only does like 5% less than Ferrothorn, which Hidden Power Fire already wasn't OHKOing Ferrothorn if it had Spadef investment, which it very well might. He might try to EV just to avoid it OHKO there. So it's not really going to do me a lot of good. And Focus Blast kind of puts me in a position where if I'm clicking Sludge Bomb, things like Houndoom or like Pokemon that resist poison, so I think Quagsire, Donphan, and Houndoom, none of these Pokemon can switch into a Focus Blast, which is pretty nice. If Azumarill's out of the field, and specifically Ferrothorn or Azumarill are out of play, I can obviously just drop Dracos or Dragon Pulses. And finally, Sludge Bomb is also a really great move to spam against this team. However, he does have a... I'm really strongly considering running Poison Spikes, but I'm really nervous about specifically Hariyama getting a Guts boost or Zangoose basically being able to get up a Guts boost even easier than it already can. And plus there's like, even some Rapid Spinners, some Defloggers. Like, I really wanted to run Venoshock this particular battle on this thing, but I didn't really trust my ability to get up Toxic Spikes extremely easily. I am running some speed creeping on most of these Pokemon. As you can probably see, there's some speed creeping going on almost all my Pokemon. I am EV'd here to outspeed at least, I know Drudigan, I know Minspeed Drudigan, Minspeed Donphan, maybe even some creeping on them, Minspeed Azumarill, Minspeed Covagrease, and Quagsire. I really outspeed all the really slower Pokemon on this team, which this team has a lot of. It suffers from a very, very slow base stat total. Finally, we got Aggron. We are running an offensive tank set this time around with Fire Punch, Heavy Slam, Avalanche, Rock. I don't really expect to need to set up Rocks. Rocks honestly doesn't achieve any KOs it doesn't help me achieve any KOs that much. I think Return does like 60 to 70% to Houndoom off Snorlax, so it doesn't even help me achieve that KO the first time around. Also Zapdos. There's just so many defoggers on this team, honestly, that like it's not really beneficial to me, so it's not really the priority. However, if there's a situation where getting rocks up is good, you never really want to have leave a team with literally no way to get up hazards. We have Avalanche, which achieves really great coverage against a lot of these Pokemon, Zapdos, Drudigan, and Donphan being the ones that are notable here. However, it does also end up being a pretty safe move to spam against a lot of these offensive Pokemon. So yeah, Avalanche is there. Heavy Slam being a pretty reliable stab move, doing like almost like 50 to 60% to like Reuniclus, which is pretty baller. And then finally we have Fire Punch, essentially making sure that Ferrothorn cannot switch in for free on our Pokemon. So essentially we have 3 answers to Ferrothorn. I was originally considering running Fire Punch or Fire Blast on Snorlax. However, I feel like all 3 moves that I have, all 4 moves here, kind of serve a purpose. And so I didn't really, obviously Hidden Power Fire here would have done like 0 to Ferrothorn. And again, all my Pokemon, I feel like these 3 kind of needed the moves they already had. So running Fire Punch literally only hits Ferrothorn, which kind of sucks that I have to run that fire move there. But I did say earlier that it's a pretty safe stab move, and it's honestly not like the least safe stab move. But if I'm expecting like Houndoom switching, I don't know, it's just like not a situation where I want to be in a whole lot. However, Fire Punch does like 70%, 70 to I think 78 or something to Ferrothorn, so it should be doing a lot from this guy. This is a pretty high attack stat. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm obviously very nervous, so I have prepped extremely intensely for this battle. I'm actually gonna kind of throw in some EVs into speed. Never hurts to have speed. Anyways, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. It is always very appreciated. Clearly, I am kind of peeing myself just thinking about this battle, but we will see how it goes. It should be happening later in the week. But until then, I will see you guys later. Krakenation out. Better be ready. Check! Wrecked. Honestly, Lando Check is about a 6-0 this entire team. Who knew Hidden Power Flying Lander was going to be the new meta? But, I mean, I clearly Sulry did.